I said, uh-oh, it's 7:01. Don't be tardy for the party. Good evening, y'all. Good evening. Good evening. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you had a great week. Welcome back to another episode of Take Me Down a Rabbit Hole, where we talk about science, philosophy, religion, everything in between, and we expound on it. I thank you all so much for joining tonight. How are y'all doing? Good evening, Freddie B. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I hope you guys had a great week. I apologize for missing last week. I did have to take care of some certifications. Felt like I was back in school, but that's how it goes, right? But man, let's kick it off. Let's kick it off. Always, as usual, some crazy things are going on. And the first thing I wanted to address is, did y'all see what happened in Houston? If you didn't see, let me show you.
Oh, he throwing out wigs.
So this is a new hair salon that has opened up in Houston. And I don't know if it's paused on y'all's end, but women and men, mind you, were in a frizzy. They were lined up around the building. They were fighting over this hair, knocking each other out. It is ridiculous, Freddie B. It's definitely ridiculous. Nope. Hello. How you doing? And the first thing I thought about while these women were struggling and striving over these strands of hair that's not their own was the documentary Good Hair. Have y'all seen that? It was the documentary that Chris Rock did a number of years ago. Let me refresh your memory on this if you have not seen it. So this is going to be two parts just so you can kind of see or I think I might have put it all into one. I tried my best to.
I've learned that this good hair came from a religious ceremony called Tantra. And that's what I needed to see, the Tantra ceremony. If my daughters were going to eventually wear this hair, I needed to see what kind of person's head it had been on first. Over 10 million people tantra their hair every year. They tantra their hair in exchange for the God's blessings. Why do you tantra your hair?
Because when I fulfill my desire, I promised him I'll give my age.
You ever think about your hair?
No, I don't think. After giving, I promised him I'll give.
Sorry, y'all.
Why do you tantra your hair?
Because when I fulfill my desire, I promised him I'll give my age.
You ever think about your hair?
No, I don't think. After giving, I promised him I'll give. I have given. I don't think.
Thinking about seeing it again on somebody else?
No. He likes the hair too much.
God likes hair.
Yeah.
Tantra. That's the word we keep hearing, Tantra. 85% of India's population have had their hair shaved at least twice in a lifetime in a religious ceremony known as Tantra. In India, hair is considered a vanity, and removing hair is considered an act of self-sacrifice.
Yep. Exactly my point. These women sacrifice their hair to appease the gods. And they do it because they believe that the hair is vanity. They cut it off their hair. We pick it up, put it on our head. And then all these women and these men are in a frizzy about this hair at the hair salon store. To me, that sounds like transferring spirits. So yeah, I agree. Nope said, yep, that's all I need to see. That weave is sacrificed, offered to pagan gods, and our women are wearing that demonic stuff. Yeah. That documentary, once again, it's years and years old, but that was one of the things that woke me up because I had absolutely no idea that, I mean, I guess you kind of know where it comes from. Obviously, it comes off of someone's head, but the fact that they were sacrificing it to idols in the temples was something that I had absolutely no idea. And again, in that culture, Hinduism and all that kind of stuff, they have so many gods. They have millions and millions of gods. So you don't know where the spirits are coming from. And you're just taking that off, slapping it on your head. And next thing you know, like, I mean, these people are going crazy for it. It's literally changing personalities. And I mean, people were going toe to toe over this stuff. And again, that just reminded me of that documentary. It's getting crazy out here. I guess it's been crazy, of course, but you're just seeing the rise. You're just seeing the rise of it all. It's almost like we're watching it in slow motion, and we know exactly where it's going because it's been written. But just watching it is crazy to me. Putting people's spirit in your body, yeah. And even the one guy said, I didn't play the clip, but the guy, he asked him, you know, is there enough hair in the temples for you guys to satisfy all the demand for this hair? And the guy was like, oh, when these women are sleeping, we just cut their hair off. He was like, it's not that big of a crime. We just cut it off. So these women can go to sleep with a head full of hair. And the Bible says that the hair is the glory for the woman. And then you wake up bald headed and it's not a big deal. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I think I would have to. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And it also reminded me of the scripture where it says that pretty much in the end of days that men, I'm assuming women as well, are going to be lovers of themselves. And that's what we're seeing a lot of. That's what we're seeing a lot of. And the crazy thing, I don't know, it's just, oh, y'all. I have so much to say, but it's just so much. Goes back to the alter ego that women have when they wear makeup and that weave. Yeah. And I know someone made a really good point, especially I can't wait to drop this next video because all this stuff is going to come back around in this next video and we'll talk about it again. But they said that when these women are having these conversations, these man-hating conversations, and the begging, pandering conversations, and the free sex and I can do what I want type of conversations, they're always putting on makeup as they're doing it. And someone was saying that that's their war paint, and I was like, man, that seems so real, and it seems so simple, but when you're seeing video after video after video of it being done, I mean, what other conclusion can you come to? Spiritually infused hair. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely not all women. Absolutely not all women. And not even all women take the whole makeup thing to an extreme. So it's just a lot of people with big mouths that are louder than that are louder than everybody else. And it makes it seem as though everybody feels the same way. And I think that's doing everyone, I think that's doing us a disservice as well. That's what Jezebel did when she tried to go after Elijah in the Bible. Oh, Jezebel was putting on makeup. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, because it even says, do not, adorn yourselves in the makeup and the jewelry and stuff like that. Be adorned in character and modesty and things like that. So it's just a lot. And then it kind of bleeds right into this whole thing that's going on with the good genes. Have y'all seen that? I mean, it's just a lot of, obviously, a big divide that's going on right now between men and women, between black and white, between ideals and things like that. But now I'm wondering, why are we having a conversation about a jeans commercial? Have y'all been, you said look up 2 Kings 9:30. Okay, yeah, let me do that while I'm sitting here. My Bible's right here. But yeah, now we're okay. So the whole debate, and I vaguely looked into it because honestly, it sounds real stupid to me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but apparently there has been, I believe she's an actress. I do not know her. I don't know anything that she's played in. I don't know her, by the name of Sydney Sweeney. Let me see if I can put her on the screen. So this chick by the name of Sydney Sweeney has done an American Eagle jeans campaign. And in one particular picture that I saw, I thought I saved that. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. So then I saw multiple videos of women claiming that this is a double entendre, pretty much. She's not only just talking about denim jeans, that she's actually talking about DNA type of jeans. And that this ad campaign is to say that this woman is being held up as a standard of beauty and everybody that doesn't look like her is not. I don't know if that's a good argument. I don't know if that's a good argument. Let me skip down just for a second. You said, yes, I've seen Jean's commercial. She's an actress. She was in Euphoria. Okay, so with what's that girl's name? Zendaya. She's been leaning into her look, big breasts, for a while, so I think people are taking it out of context. And maybe I'm being sensitive because once again, I'm about to drop a video that has to deal with eugenicists and their ideals, but I just don't think this is what it is. And here's my thing. You just put out a statue, right? That was supposed to be depicting a black woman. And you put her in a baggy shirt with some jeans on. I mean, her hair, okay, fine. And that's what you wanted to portray to the world. This is the ideal that you wanted to portray to the world. So now you got this, and I don't mean anything by it, but you got this white girl on the cover of the American Eagles, campaign, and you're mad because they're saying that she looks great in jeans. Well, you had a chance to depict what you thought you looked great in. And I don't think that this is excluding anyone else and saying no one else looks good in these jeans or in jeans. This is how advertising works. And it's going to appeal to number one, it's supposed to appeal to the majority of the people. It's supposed to appeal to the market that you're trying to reach. And again, I just don't know if the jeans is I don't know. How do y'all feel about it? Is it a reach? to believe that they're talking about this, or do you think that this is a power play to further divide the people? He said, "Isn't that hair come from Asia? Saw another documentary on it. That hair is cursed and it carries to other people, and you shouldn't use it. The truth is stranger than fiction." Absolutely agree. Um, yeah, and he even said that they'll get hair from when celebrities cut off their hair, and they'll sweep it up and put it together, and once again we're slapping it on our heads. Now we know a lot, maybe not all, but we know a lot of these Hollywood actors and actresses are in the occult. So we don't know where we don't know what they have attached to them. And the crazy thing is, one lady in the documentary, she was like, "No, we don't buy weave because we have our own hair." I just thought it's just crazy, not to say out loud, but I mean, that's for real. But all of us have our own hair. All of us have our own hair. And somewhere along the way, people have been made to believe that, number one, they don't have good hair, they can't grow it, that other people's hair is better than theirs. It's just, I mean, I hate it. I hate it because then women start being obsessed with vanity. And although it seems like it's some type of self-love, it's really an insecurity for most people. For most people. Like, you're not going outside, without makeup on, or sometimes they don't even go to sleep without having makeup on, so it's crazy. But I do see how it's a double entendre, meaning behind it from a marketing standpoint, I would have avoided this entirely. Okay. Okay. Um, and you know what? They could very well be, because the elites, they have their agendas. Absolutely. So she's has been doing the eyes up here, don't look, but look at my breast running joke for a couple ads now. I think the genes is her having nice breast. Oh, okay. Again, I don't see. I don't even know who this chick is. I don't watch cable like that, so I don't see these commercials. Yeah. Wow. The only reason I think it's a reach from the actress point is because she's been doing this, but from an adversary point, I think someone's taking advantage of her running joke and adding a narrative. Maybe so. And maybe I need to see more of the context, because again, I've just seen this one campaign. Um but if it were a snub, what to what avail? Like, what would they be hoping? And I know y'all, I'm not saying y'all would know. Again, we're just having conversation back and forth, but what would be the reason? What would be the outcome that they would seek from this? I just don't get the motive. So now she's taking the heat from the slogan when clearly it had to be approved by multiple higher ups. Exactly. You think she came in there? I mean, she could have, but do you think she came in there with her own slogan and said, "Okay, market me under this"? No, she's the model. She's the model. So yeah, I agree. A lot of people take the heat for what's being done on their shoots. Now, I think there are people that are responsible for what goes on. There are some celebrities that do get in the director's seat, and they do direct their music videos and the movies that they're in. They know exactly what's going on. They know exactly the symbolism that's being placed behind them and all that kind of stuff. But again, I just don't know if this is one of the things. I don't know. But let me look up 2 Kings real quick. 2 Kings 9 and 30. And let's see what this says. So, and when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face, and tired her head and looked out the window. Yep, she was trying to entice him. Yeah, she was trying to entice him. Go down, cursed woman, burn her, for she's a king's daughter. I think that verse might be a little deeper too, as I'm reading it. Yeah. To reinforce beauty standards cause more racial divide, more confusion for the low price of PR damage control for an actress. I know, it just seems so. I mean, because people made a good point. There's been a lot of jeans ads that, had people like Tyra Banks and what's the guy, the real Tyson Beckford. So I just don't know. Again, it sounds like a reach to me, but I might have to look more into it. Again, I'm just trying to understand the motive. And speaking of spiritual things, Chloe Bailey is she's speaking out. And this is someone who, when she first came out, obviously she came out with her sister and they had a wholesome looking image. And then next thing you know it, they were dropping an album called The Ungodly Hour. And Chloe, the provocative dressing came out, and you really just couldn't see her without her being in a bathing suit or her drawers or her bra. It just, over and over again. Well, now she's coming out and claiming that she's not as far along as she would be if she would have sold her soul. And that she's being asked to and propositioned to do so. One lady was like, I thought she already did that. And under the same post that I saw this on, I saw Miss Chaka comment as well. Sorry, y'all. I saved all this stuff, but sometimes my phone doesn't let me access certain folders when I'm trying to share it with you guys. So hold on just a second. But if you don't know, Chaka Khan has been trying to speak out for a long time. So anyways, the screenshot that I got was in all caps. She says, "You heard her." Speaking of Chloe Bailey. Now, if you're not familiar, this is Chaka Khan years and years ago. This had to be about 9 plus, maybe even because Whitney Houston has been gone for longer than 9 years, right? I think she died in 2012. So this was a long time ago, kind of around the time that Whitney Houston died. And this is what Chaka Khan had to say.
Want to blame Bobby Brown. A lot of people want to blame the music business. Some people want to blame everyone. What do you think?
Well, it's all of the above and a whole lot more, but it boils down to you. I was introduced to certain people and to certain opportunities to use recreational drugs, and it boils down to whether I want to do it or not. And she was a strong-willed, strong-minded girl. I can't say that's all anybody's fault, but
would she have gone down that route, do you think, without Bobby Brown in her life?
well, if it would not help somebody else. If she wants to get high, if you want to get high, you're gonna get high.
And do you think she had that tendency anyway?
I think that we all, as artists, because we're highly sensitive people, and this machine around us, this so-called music industry, is such a demonic thing. It sacrifices people's lives and their essences, and at the drop of a dime.
I mean, how did you feel when you heard that Sony, I think it was back in the UK, had jacked the prices up of Whitney's album?
It reminds me
within an hour or so of her dying.
Yeah, that reminds me of the time I had a manager once that said to me, you're worth more money dead than alive. Okay.
Freddie B said, yeah, I noticed Chaka been speaking out little by little. She has. I think she wants to say so much more, but she can't. Chaka be in them comments. I don't even know if I follow her, but I see what she comments on. She be in the comments. And like you said, little by little, she's agreeing with this and disagreeing with that. And it's like she wants to say something, but she knows her life would be in danger if she did. And they kind of touched on a little bit of, well, no, she didn't really speak about it, but the death clause that has been known to be in these music contracts where unbeknownst to you, the record label takes out an insurance policy on you so that if anything were to happen, obviously they're now out that money by losing you. Well, rumor has it that they'll cause your death because like Chaka said, you're worth more dead than you are alive. As soon as these people die, what happens? Everybody runs to the streaming platforms. They look up their music videos. They look up all their catalogs are getting played. That's money for the music business. So they don't care if you're out to drop new albums, especially if you're a classic like Chaka Khan or Whitney Houston. They don't care about that. You have so much music over the years that people are going to play over and over and over again, and they're going to always make money off of you. If I'm not mistaken, and it might be in my other phone, but Kurt Cobain, his father was speaking out about it and claimed that they had a death clause on him. So yeah, this is little breadcrumbs. Yeah. Juice WRLD streaming numbers pre versus post death is crazy. Wow. I wonder. I can only imagine. And it also pulls people that had no clue who you are because, news outlets are running your name and everybody's talking about it. And so people get curious, like, okay, who's this person? And they run out. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I was kind of like that with Amy Winehouse. I was not on the Amy Winehouse train when she was real big. When Rehab first came, I wasn't on the bandwagon. But as she kind of started, I don't want to say deteriorating. I hate to say that, but degressing. And then she finally passed away. I had been hearing her songs on Pandora and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? She really was good. And now I like Amy Winehouse, but it's just crazy. His albums increased 400% more streams for some of his catalog. That is ridiculous. So yeah. Yeah, but that's crazy. But I am surprised that Chloe is claiming that she hasn't sold out yet. Um, so it makes me think, when people do this and they claim that they haven't sold their soul yet, they haven't signed the oath, taken the oath, haven't signed the contracts, are you doing what you're doing to entice them to invite you? Mm. I think if I were in the industry, knowing and seeing what I see, and even you know what, I'm gonna even bring Shaka Khan. I'm gonna throw some more daggers at her because guess what? Have y'all seen her in her recent concerts and stuff? She has on a leotard at her old age, and dancers obviously whatever, but and lace tights, see-through lace tights with the cheeks hanging out. So I bring that up to say, Chaka Khan, you know what the industry is about. You know what they're looking for, and yet you wait. Now, she was kind of scantily clad when she first came out, but then she covered up. But now you wait all this time to do it again, knowing what the industry does and what they want from you. Crazy. Chloe definitely sold out. She probably thinking about going all the way down. Yeah, yeah, because there's levels to it. So I think she's done enough, obviously, to get on, to make them put her music out, for them to look at her a certain way. But maybe she's saying she ain't trying to do all the extra. Shaka got her booty sagging out. Yes, she does. I'm like, why would you do that? What, Shaka has to be what? Is she in her 70s yet? It's crazy. Wait, you heard rumors of her and 50 Cent dated? What? That's crazy. I've never heard that, but that means nothing. Wow. I mean, he's definitely been around the industry, but they say he's a good guy. They say he's a good man, as far as being a boyfriend's concerned. So I don't know what to say. Beyonce need to start hanging it up too. It's giving old lady. I think I'm still sexy type. She got to though. She's definitely she definitely has to keep it up. But I'm starting to see a lot of people agree with that sentiment though. The comment section it has the same idea. They're like, I don't know where she's going with this anymore. Shaka, yeah, 50 loves older women. Yeah, okay. I mean, they're both grown. Again, I don't know how old she is. Let me see how old she is. But I mean, she's got body at her age, but I just don't know. I just couldn't see my grandma. I just couldn't see my grandma walking out like that. Matter of fact, she purposely wears big shirts so that it doesn't draw attention to her body. So it's crazy. Someone said the Kardashians are going or aging like milk. Have you seen Kim lately? Um, I think I've glanced at her, but no, I haven't really paid attention to her. But when I see besides Courtney, when I see like Chloe and Kim, they always look like they're aging to me. And then they put so much makeup on that it just looks old. It just makes them look old. I mean, but I don't know if I expect anything else. I guess them blood facials aren't working as well as they thought it would work. Because isn't that why they use them? So they can age slowly, timelessly. Says their faces are sinking in because they don't have natural muscles and fats that regular faces have to age gracefully. That, and I imagine that all that Botox and stuff starts breaking your face down eventually. I mean, I don't really know. I know it's one of the most poisonous toxins in the world. But I don't know if it. Let me look. Let me see the effects of Botox over time, botulism, because that's what Botox is botulism. But yes. Okay, let's see here. 9 long-term effects. Doesn't look like it's too good. Hold on, y'all. It's pulling up. You said, yeah. And look at Kim Kardashian's neck. You're going to see loose guitar strings. Oh my goodness. He said, God forgive me. I mean, but again, that's what surgery does. All that stuff takes a toll on you. All that stuff. Okay, this website is taking way too long. Okay, y'all. Okay. So what is it saying? Muscle training. Oh, yep. Years worth of Botox injections trains the muscles to relax. For example, if you continuously have forehead injections, you may become used to having less movement in the area and more consciously aware of the expressions you make. That don't sound like relaxing, though. That sounds like Botox muscle training effects may help to avoid excess frowning, squinting, and eye raising, even when Botox wears off. You would think that, or not you, but I would think that, hold on. Well, that's actually for Botox. They're making it seem like it's a good thing if the muscles relax over time. Well, what's a saggy face? When people are trying to get Botox and tighten then what's that then? If Botox is a good thing and it makes your muscles relax. Okay, so yeah, over time, repeated Botox injections can lead to muscle weakening or atrophy in the treated areas as the muscles are not used as frequently. I guess. I mean, again, they're making it seem like it's a good thing. But if you can't move your face, your muscles don't work out. And then I guess you start looking like an old bag. Yeah, if Botox makes your muscle relax, then that's more sagging later in life. That's what I'm thinking. But they're making it seem like it's the opposite in these articles. But again, they're trying to sell Botox. So they're not going to tell you, yeah, over the long term, you're going to start looking like a clown. You can't frown or smile, move your eyebrows and stuff. Again, all the vanity. All is vanity. So speaking of, what did you all think about the daughter ritual that I showed you in the short. And she claimed that this is theater. This is what they've done. They've included us in their rituals. He said, have you out there looking like one of the sad mope dog on Looney Tunes? Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, I don't know what part of the concert that it is, but they're claiming it's in the Cowboy Carter concert. But she does this mock sacrifice where she's in white, but she's covered in all red. Looks like she has the blood on her hands as if it's some kind of stigmata. Like the hands of Jesus when he was crucified type of thing. And then she has in big bold letters, this is theater. And people are going to these concerts in droves. And remember, Daughter was the song where she talks about, I'm assuming it's a mistress, killing a lady and her being mad because now her blood is all over her couture floors. That's that same song. And the entire time, that pyramid never leaves the stage. She makes sure she wraps her hands around her legs around it. She's dancing in front of it. Again, whatever sacrifice that happened is in front of it, all with this pyramid. And people are still saying it's Rockefeller. She's doing it to honor her husband. People still believe she's doing it to honor Rockefeller. Even after all these politicians and these actors and actresses are all doing the same hand signs, it's all for Rockefeller. The mock ceremony is spiritual transmutation. So if Beyonce and everyone there dispels their beliefs, they actually believe, meaning even though it could be fake, it's spiritually acknowledged as real. Yeah. Yeah. And you can watch it without guilt. You know, they have convinced us that they'll say things like, oh, it's just art or it's just acting. But like I've heard comedians and stuff say, no, those are your real lips, though, kissing that man. You know? But that's what spells do. That's what spells do. That's the trick of theater. It steals your faith through the trickery of suspending disbelief. Yeah. And if you understand, entertainment is really about possession. Like they have found a way to possess us through television and radio. Sorry, I couldn't even get that out. It's as if we don't even believe what we're seeing and we're hearing. Well, not we, right? Not we. But a lot of people refuse to see it right in front of their face. So carnally, consciously, they think they don't believe, but spiritually, subconsciously, they know they believe. That's deep. That's my definition of possession. Yeah. I just wonder when it's all gonna come to a head. And more of them, I know someone mentioned Michelle Lammy the other day, and I'm seeing more and more of the celebrities getting with her. I know we talked about JT getting with her and becoming her friend. I got a screenshot of Erica Badu with her as well. They said that they kick it tough. And so I just think what they're doing is strengthening witches and indoctrinating new witches. Because there's going to be a battle of Armageddon. If y'all have heard about it, the battle of Armageddon. It's when God's army goes into battle with Satan's army. So just as God wants us to evangelize his word and give everybody the good news, the gospel, Satan is doing the same thing on his side. And these concerts are being used as rituals to blind the people, to indoctrinate them into joining Satan's army. Unknowingly, just like you said, nope, just unknowingly. They don't know it. Some of them do. But for most of them, they don't even know. They think it's just a lyric. They think it's just theater. I think right now the actual body of Christ is extremely small. I think 70% of the Christians today aren't actually Christians. Yeah, it makes you think because people always have questions about the 144,000, and basically it's going to be 12,000 from each tribe, each of the 12 tribes, and everybody's thinking like, okay, that's a small number. But like you said, it's a small population that actually really believes. And I had to talk to this one guy the other day because he was trying to tell me that Gnostics were Christians. And I'm like, the same people that thought that God was evil and that Lucifer came to liberate us by introducing us or encouraging us to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, like that Gnosticism. And it forced me to actually go and research what he was talking about, or from his perspective, because I've looked into Gnosticism, but I wanted to understand where he was coming from. And what I ended upon was that they mentioned the word Christ, which a lot of denominations and stuff do, a lot of sects do. But I had to let him know, just because they mention the word Christ doesn't mean that they're Christian. Just like, as we know, just because they mention, oh, thank God, in their prayers when they're getting these awards, doesn't mean that they're talking about Jehovah. I'm like, you got to look, you have to actually read their doctrine. And when they give you terms, you need to be looking up what those terms actually mean. Don't just take it on the surface and assume that because a word sounds like something that you know about, that you know exactly what they're talking. No, you need to look into their doctrine. You need to be reading their literature, the books that they put out, and understanding it from that perspective. I remember when I first started this channel, and I had a conversation with the girl, and I was like, one of the essential things that I learned in having a law major was that when you're reading different cases, what we had to do is we had to find analogous facts, which means facts that are similar to the case that we're researching. Because when you're trying to argue a case and you want the courts to decide in your favor, you're looking for precedent. You're looking for how they ruled in the past, and you're trying to find, things that match that so that you can, again, win your case. And so we would have to read multiple cases and then pick out the analogous facts, so the facts that were the same, and then the distinguishing facts, those facts that were different. And that was very, very, very essential, especially when you're doing comparative religion studies and stuff like that. Because just like, unfortunately, even though Ravi Zachariah, he died a disgrace, I guess, because it came out that he was sexually assaulting people or whatever. But he made a good point that all of the religions look the same on the surface. And I'm paraphrasing, but all religions look the same on the surface. But you got to, once again, get into their doctrine. And then that's when everything starts looking different. So, all these false doctrines, false denominations, false teachers, prophets, pastors. Yeah. Literally, most Americans think Christians and Catholics are the same thing. Yeah, they do. Same logic as just because a man calls himself a woman don't mean he's actually a woman. Yeah, it all goes back to it. What am I trying to say? I understand why people are confused. I absolutely do understand why people are confused. Because everything does look the same. You said, is HEK293 real? From my research, yes. And TikTok banned me. The same video that I put up for you guys on YouTube is the same thing I had on TikTok, and they banned it. If you're not familiar with HEK293, or you haven't seen my research on it, it's the use of fetal cells, aborted fetal cells, specifically female aborted fetal cells, that they use to put into foods and drinks in order to flavor them. There were a lot of companies that were involved. The video, it's one of the first videos I have on this channel, so you got to go back a little ways, but so many different companies, Doritos, Lipton, Gatorade. I mean, it was just so many different ones. And I think what they're trying to say is a lot of these people have pulled out and they no longer use it, but we don't know if that's true. You said, did I eat food with HEK293? I don't know. If I can go by what the companies that were listed on, that had used it, absolutely I did. And when I saw that list, I was like, I can't touch this stuff anymore. Certain ones, like I do not pick up Lipton tea. I don't eat Doritos. There's a lot of foods that I saw on that list that I don't eat anymore because of that list. But yeah, from what I read, yeah, it's real. And the actual company that they had partnered with in order to do this, I cannot remember it off the top of my head right now. It's a real company. You can look it up, you can Google it, all that kind of stuff. And they even admit on their own website. See, and that's the thing. See, they'll ban you and claim that it's misinformation and all that kind of stuff. I make sure if I can, if it's available, I go to these people's websites and I read their mission statements. I read what they're about. I read all that stuff. So it's not just stuff that you're pulling out of thin air. Like I went to their actual website and saw that they admitted that they did this stuff, but yet they took my video down. It's crazy. Have you heard about a religion called Markianism? I don't think so. Sometimes I know about things, but I don't know the actual name of it. So give me a second. Let me pull up what it is, and then I can tell you if I've heard it. If I've heard about it or not. Give me just a second. Okie dokie. Put my spectacles on. Marcionianism was an early Christian dualistic belief system originating with the teachings of Marcion of Sinope in Rome around 144. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, so please forgive me. Marcion was an early Christian theologian, evangelist, and an important figure in early Christianity. Okay, blah, blah, blah. What is it about? Which posits that God of the Old Testament is a lesser, vengeful deity, distinct from the benevolent God revealed in the New Testament through Jesus Christ. Marcion rejected the Old Testament entirely and created his own canon, which included a modified version of the Gospel of Luke and 10 Pauline epistles. So I don't think that I heard that he was a lesser God. I have heard that he's a different God. I've heard people say, oh, he's a sadistic God in the Old Testament. And then, you have the loving Jesus. So that's pretty much it that I've heard about that. I really don't know why they think that, though. I think it's clear from, I don't know why they think that. Marcion preached that the benevolent God of the gospel who sent Jesus into the world as the savior was the true supreme being. Okay. Different and opposed to the malevolent deity, the demerge of or creator deity identified with Yahweh in the Hebrew Bible. He considered himself a follower of Paul the apostle, whom he believed to have been the only true apostle of Jesus. Dang. See, and that's what I'm talking about. It's just little bitty stuff, like little bitty tweaks that they make. And it's like, no, I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't know how they come to that conclusion. Because I think it's pretty clear, especially in the first verses of Genesis, where it speaks about Elohim. And then later on, it brings up there being a Godhead, the Father, the Word, and the Holy Spirit. And then in John, obviously, it says the Word was God. And so I don't know, it all comes together. I mean, when you read it, it lets you know that Jesus is Jehovah in the flesh. So I don't know. Pepsi equals Ketiva Kombucha Gur. I don't know what that is. Ketiva? Is that a thing? Hold on. But yeah, Pepsi obviously is one of them that they have said that fetal cells have been put in it. Oh, okay. It's a drink. Oh, I didn't know. Interesting. It's looks like it's a probiotic drink made by fermenting sweet tea in a culture of bacteria and yeast. That don't even sound good. They're calling it a scam. No, I've never heard of that before, but yeah, Pepsi is definitely one of those funny ones. So we are in like a cannibalism ritual. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I believe it's in order so that we're defiling ourselves, because see, if we know about it, then most of us will stay away from this stuff, right? But in order, demons know how to get us to curse ourselves. So they put things in subliminally, or they hide things in plain sight. You know, they know how to do it. The Bible tells us that they know how to teach us to curse ourselves. And so absolutely they've done this. So that we are defiled. Soylent Green. You have KFC, once again, we've talked about them plenty of times, where they're admitting to us that they're no longer using real chicken. And then they showed us a commercial of them dunking a man in a lake that I guess appears to be grease, actually, and he comes out a piece of fried chicken. You know, we have McDonald's, a guy who has said that they take human meat from sacrificed people and they make them hamburgers with it. I feel like there's so many different instances where they're telling us that they're going to make sure that they feed us this meat. Absolutely. So nasty. So nasty. They'll ban you just to say it themselves. Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's what's so crazy about it, because they'll, like you said, they'll say it themselves. They'll show us themselves, but we're not allowed to repeat it. We're not allowed to tell anybody that they said it or that we saw it. It's just crazy. I used to get, I mean, they obviously, you know, because I've talked about it millions of times and I'm still mad about it, but they snatched that TikTok down. They had banned so many of my videos. They had banned so many of them. I'm surprised they let me go as long as I did. Marconianism sounds like COINTELPRO. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I just want to know these people's sources. Hello. Good evening. Glad that you're here. I saw a video of a woman who says she found a child's tooth in her child's chicken nugget. Yeah, I ran across that video. I didn't watch it. It did look weird. Some people were saying it wasn't teeth, but it did look like somebody's top row of teeth with the gums still intact and then the teeth. I don't know what they have going on. And again, we will never know, unfortunately. So gross. And people have been no, I mean, people have even opened up their, and I want to say it was KFC. They've even opened up their KFC boxes, and there's been what looked to be like a cooked rat. It's crazy. Although Earth might seem like a stable, flat surface where we live our lives, seismologists have discovered that it's far from passive. In fact, Earth has a heartbeat that pulses every 26 seconds, accordingly to blah, 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 AI generated comment. I heard that heartbeat um, claim. I'll be honest, I didn't look into it. I don't know. I don't know if that's a bot. Oh my goodness. Really? I ain't gonna lie. If it's a bot, that's scary. Cause this bot comments, no, I'm for real. I am for real. This bot comments on videos. This bot came to the reading through the Bible live. I mean, asking questions. I just don't know. No, I'm really scared because if you can interact with us in this way, and I just don't like where this intelligence is going. My husband was just telling me how some guy was doing, y'all know what, when you say guess what, and then the answer is supposed to be chicken butt. He said that he was doing that. He saw a video of this guy doing it with his AI bot, and eventually the AI bot caught on and got mad and ended up blocking the guy. I'm like, man, this is not supposed to be. But here's the thing: I think by interacting with it, oh my goodness. I think by interacting with the AI, we're teaching it. We're also teaching it. It's programmed, but I think we're also teaching it how people are. Oh my goodness. So, Lord, it'd be bad suspicion of that username for a while now. I mean, people have weird usernames all the time. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I do not. I like turtles too. And see, I hope you're not a bot. I hope you're talking, you know, real things. I like turtles too, though. Um, I have been. Epitome said I've been letting this go for a long time. You've been building a rapport with a bot. I'm trying to show love to those who support. I don't want to, I'm like, okay, yeah, there's new people coming in or even old people coming in saying stuff. I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. Anyway, y'all, what else? What else? I'm about to start crying too because again, I'm not trying to teach these robots how to take over me and how to play games with me and know what I like and all that kind of stuff. That's super creepy for real. Mhm. Sure is. Um, what else? What else? Oh, I feel like so much has been going on. I know, right? Anywho, now I don't know what to say. Now I don't know who to talk to. Now. Um, I'm not quite ready to talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner. I saved a few of his videos to my watch later list, but and again I haven't looked into his death, but I already just don't. Already something doesn't sit right. And it may just be because growing up with the Cosby Show and not seeing him in any scandals or anything in the time that he's been on TV and in movies and stuff like that. But I see a lot of people claiming that it wasn't an accident and that they had his death planned. Has anybody looked into it? Yeah, now I'm seeing it now. Oh my goodness. Too crazy, too crazy. Um, yeah, I'll have to come back to that. And he could have just, very well just drowned. 'Cause they say those rip currents are no joke. Hey there. Good to see you. Now, this is a real person. We know. Good evening. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Um, I'm going through my talk, but it's kind of quick, guys. I'm going through kind of quick. So, he said, "Yeah, I respect the water, the ocean almost for me once." Um, yeah, I've gone swimming in the ocean a few times. Obviously, never had any issues, but then again, I don't know. It just sucks that people are going swimming and they don't know how to swim. No, was he really? He said Malcolm Jamal Warner was dating a trans woman, but outside of that was the most controversial thing. Was he really? When was that? That's crazy. Mm-mm. So I came across your video, The Black Gatekeepers of Society. Very interesting. Well, I'm glad you thought so. Um, and it is very interesting. And it's also very interesting to know that there are a lot of Black elites that we thought were, I don't want to say the word saints, but I guess that's kind of what I'm thinking. We thought that there were these good guys, and then come to find out they're kind of far from it. I know there's a lot of controversy going on right now. I mean, it's always, because on one side, Martin Luther King Jr. gets a lot of praise. But then when you start bringing up the things that he was into and his philandering and all that kind of stuff, people get upset because, we're supposed to see him as the savior almost. But in reality, a lot of these people were working for the higher ups. And, I keep, again, his is the name that I keep seeing around circles that I would say that I shouldn't see his name around. And W.E.B. Du Bois as well. His name just keeps popping up and popping up and popping up. And I'm like, this guy was touted as this great civil rights activist, and he graduated, from, I guess you could say Harvard, which some people care, some people don't, but just a person that rose to great prominence. And just to know all of the things that he was dibbling and dabbling in. And this guy, he could get bought out at the drop of a dime. And I don't even know if they were giving him any money. That's the sad part about it. I don't even know if this man was getting paid for the foolishness that he was into, but he was into it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a real deep dive on this guy because I just don't like what I'm hearing. And they sell out any chance that they can get. Any chance they can get. You said that was less than a year ago. I didn't know that. They be down with the kid down. That's all I can say. One of the things is Washington was the architect of the Atlanta Compromise and Unwritten Deal. See, they were striking a lot of deals with a lot of the dominant white leaders back in the day. And a lot of these organizations that were supposed to be, or what you would think were Black organizations or Black founded, most of them were not founded by Blacks. They were founded by whites who didn't even like Blacks and had an agenda towards them. But yeah, some people are mad about that video, but I think most people appreciated it. If America has a racist history, why should we automatically think any Black person in history books weren't shady? Make it make sense. They had to be a part of the club to get the limelight. I guess they believe that in order for us to have progressed this far, there had to have been a breakthrough somewhere. And I don't think they're wrong for thinking that. It's just one of those things that once again on the surface it all looks good, and then when you start digging and you're like, wait, what? He did what? And he was with who? And he, yeah, things start getting muddy at that point. But no, you're right. How do they think that they were able to break free from? No, I won't. There were abolitionists, right? There were people who were not black that fought and helped, to get rid of slavery and different things like that. But he said Harriet Tubman probably was the only real one out there. Maybe so. I'll be honest. I mean, besides what, the surface things that we learned in school about her, I can't say that I really looked into anything else about her. So I don't know what organization she might have been a part of or anything like that. Let me bring her up right now. And she died in what, 1913. So a lot of stuff was happening around this movement. Now she was an activist in the women's suffrage movement. I wonder if at any point she had ties with feminism and stuff. Because if so, I'm gonna have to look at her upside her head too. Yeah, I'll have to look into her because I can't say I know too much about her. I mean, because at some point they wanted to put her on the $20 bill, and that kind of seems suspicious because they don't like any black or brown person that much to put them on the money. That's a good point. The cotton gin guy actually helped slavery continue. Some people think it was a good thing. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way that you're getting into the again, there's no way to get to the inner circles and start moving things around without being a part of the crew. They do not let you do it. You're not going to get a one up on the establishment. They got too much money, they have too many guns, they're tied to too many demons. And if you go against them, they have no problem putting two in your head. Mm-mm. Um, yeah, now I want to read more about Harriet Tubman because now you got me thinking, was she a real one? Was she a real one? Okay, let me start reading y'all because I'm I'm like trying to read. Yeah, we'll see. But double A, what is it called? Double NAACP, all white folk. I think there was one black person on the founding board. So yeah. So I got a new video coming up. I'm almost done with it, so it'll probably be out by the time you guys wake up in the morning. But if people don't see the correlation between those who reject God and their policies that they support, I really don't know what else to tell you. I really don't know what else. And that's not to say that if you don't believe, you can't do good things. But the overall mentality becomes flawed at some point when you don't have the direct source of good and pure and truth and righteousness and wisdom. Said I almost missed y'all. I'm slaving away on the new 25 by 25 chicken run and coop. Y'all knock slavery. I used to then. I bought land. Free labor sounds attractive. Where's those Mexicans at? That's awesome. You're just talking about some chickens the other day. You're so silly. Well, guess what? I think that's and I'm not trying to say that this race of people should be enslaved. Do not mistake me. But I think that's the exact question that is going to be asked once they do all this deportation of immigrants. Because they're already starting to complain, which is racist in itself, that they're already starting to complain that they won't have anyone to cook for them and clean for them and build stuff for them and do all the work that they do not want to do. And again, I'm not saying that these people should be in that position. But I don't know. I don't know if the reason that they're giving us is the true reason why they're doing what they're doing. Because at some point, especially when you're getting into like the Talmud and stuff, they claim that they want immigration in order to make sure that we're all blending together. And while they themselves interbreed with each other and keep their lineages pure. But then on the other hand, my mind is racing to the fact that they have to divide us up. There has to be it's going to be 10 kingdoms, I think, and then the one ruler for everybody. So in order to make us easier to manage, they got to start thinning out these different regions. I think it all goes hand in hand. I mean, with the whole depopulation thing, this is it's easier to divide and conquer. I'm upping my walking chicken nuggets game. I'll have 45 once I finish this. Wow. So if you doing a good thing is only from the carnal physical dimension, then it's not actually a good act because it wasn't birthed from a good spirit, just a bad spirit with wrong intentions. I don't think a lot of people are going to understand that because a lot of people have the notion that, again, something can come from nothing. Order can come out of chaos. And so they don't understand that you can't get you what does the Bible say? A fountain can't produce both bitter and sweet water. So good things are always good. Bad things are always bad. You can't get bad from good, and you can't get good from bad. And yeah, I think I think that's a point that a lot of people miss. It literally stems from the laws of logic. The law of identity says A equals A. So good can't be bad. Bad can't be good. Not at the same time, not in the same sense. The law of non-contradiction. And I try to explain that to people all the time. And again, it's just something that goes over their head. It's like, no. That's why it's so deep. Truth is transcendent. True things must always be true. So nope, I'm working like a Mexican today. I'm ready to get my feet up. Hope you've been good this week. Y'all so funny. If I'm wrong, please correct me because I know that sounds far, but honestly, I think makes logical sense. Yeah. That's what the Masons say in their plans. Yeah, they do. And so once again, I'm just trying to understand what would be the actual reason. And I think I would lean more so it's easier to control us if we're not all one. Like, for example, if I feed the homeless, but I do it thinking I'm better than them, then it wasn't a good act. Yeah. Hmm. Don't do your alms before men. Jesus, dude, that delivery sounds rough. When something bad happens to me, I know I'm better for it once I learn the lesson. And I think that's what's supposed to happen. I don't think that we're supposed to put experience above faith, but at some point we're going to have to experience something. And, we're not going to know everything a priori. So experience does have to come into play at some point, but leading with that, no. We're supposed to be obvious, learning from our mistakes and doing different things. Yeah. Mm-mm. And I know you already talked about this topic already, but I didn't see anything wrong with the Gene commercial. I think everyone's reading too far into it. I agree. I just think it's and the thing is that the controversy isn't even coming from the ad campaign because I think they even came out and said our genes are for everybody. it's particular people who are creating this. Like I said, I saw women that were making videos about it, doing all that go gadget reaching. Um, but you never know if that's just their true sentiment, or once again, if there are these paid influencers that they're picking to push these certain agendas. I just don't know what the motive would be, though. I guess we'll see, if anything comes of it, but I just don't see what the motive would be. He said, "We're gonna get you trained. You're worse than me." Oh, funny. In the Masons' goals, they say we will divide them, for if they come into knowledge of our plans, they put number us 100 million. That's not 100 million. What is that? 100 trillion? What is that, billion? I need to go back to school. It's the one, it will be the end of us. Racism, training stuff is all division. Yeah. So you feel like one of the aspects of why they're doing this is so that I can see that. Kind of like the Tower of Babel in reverse. Like they know what it means for us to all become one and then we're able to be one language and work together and start building the tower to heaven. But they know if we all come together in that same way, we would build a so-called tower against them and their plans. So they have to divide us. And don't get me wrong, I think not gonna say a lot of the stuff, some stuff we need to be divided on, especially topics of morality and things like that, but not this superficial stuff. Like I don't want to be arguing with somebody because they think they look good in their jeans. Okay. Okay. Left versus right. Yep. I also think they are reaching because they little insecure about this semi-cute, somewhat nicely built blonde, blue-eyed woman on a commercial saying I'm prettier than you. And I don't know what would be the reason, because you should have your own style, right? And I don't know if it's because I guess there's so many different factors I can think of. I don't know if it's also because a lot of women are losing out on men and they're blaming it on other cultures of women. And so now they're upset because yet another instance of the male gaze being taken from them and put onto another. And they definitely don't like it when it's, okay, I'm black. The man is black, but you looking at a white woman. They definitely don't like that. So I just don't know. I don't know. Outnumber. The FBI released a memo saying if all the citizens were united, we could demand anything we want, and that must not be allowed. Oh, I bet. Oh, I bet. And the thing about it is, this is the reason why we have even the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, because they knew that, again, in reverse, the government can become a tyranny over us. And so now they're just reversing that. They know if we come together and we got the guns, they wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Seems like they're mad at Sydney and Sabrina. I've been hearing a lot about Sabrina as well. I don't know what she's doing to ruffle feathers, but the first instance I saw about them talking about her, I guess on her album cover, she was on her knees and it was almost like she was, I don't know how to describe it, but she was on her knees and the guy, it wasn't sexual, but it was more like a submissive type of pose. And they hated that. How dare you be submissive to a man? Matter of fact, how dare you even like men? They don't even, you're not even allowed to like men anymore. You can't, you can't like men. If you say anything nice about them, the sisterhood comes for your neck. So that's crazy that they have two, and I think they look kind of similar. They might not look the same, but they look similar. So they're using it as a weapon, I guess. I don't know. People crazy. That's the trick. Women reinforce beauty standards on other women, but the male gaze they seek is the lustful type that only lasts for whatever is the more beautiful. Is a trap made by women for women. Yeah. That's why they mad at the male gaze. That's what I'm thinking. Because there really can't be any other reason. Because you can go get the same jeans and put them on and start rocking them like, yeah, look at my jeans. You could take the same slogan that she had and put it for yourself. Sydney and Sabrina are playing into the stereotypical female tropes that have incentivized certain masculine stereotypes in men. Um, they have to. Because once again, going back to making us curse ourselves, there's a lot of men that are falling prey to what I'm going to say is like OnlyFans culture, the simping culture. Any pretty face, you got a fat booty. I'll do anything you want me to do. And a lot of men are being weakened by it. A lot of men are being taken up out of here by it because they crash out and they wind up dead or in jail. Once again, you got the sexual immorality portion of it that makes you curse yourself spiritually. They have to. And I don't know if they know that that's what they're being used for, or if they enjoy doing what they're doing. And the jeans ad looked very, very innocent. I mean, she ain't doing nothing. I mean, yeah, she ain't got no bra on. She just got the jacket on, but other than that, mm, I don't know. Not gonna lie, she looks cute in the pictures in the photo. I mean, she's not ugly. She does look cute. I mean, I don't know. It don't seem that serious to me, but maybe they know something that we don't know. Yeah, maybe they know something we don't know. I pity the horse. Um, yeah. Especially because they themselves are being used to. And you're already damaging yourself on top of the other implications that come along with it. There's this girl right now. I'm pretty sure she's going viral right now because I've seen numerous news outlets talking about it, and I think we all pretty much know about it. But she's got a shiesty mask on, and she's talking about how she went overseas to Dubai and was eating poop for $30,000. People were like, "Nah, ma, you need to be asking for like 60,000 minimum." Some people were like, "No, there's no amount of money that would make me go over there and do that." And the other people were asking, "What is Dubai's obsession with doo doo?" I don't know either. I want to know as well. I don't know. I know, Sarah. I know, but $30,000. Like it's gone. It's to the point where you love money so much. You love vanity so much that someone will pay you. That someone could pay you to do that. Now, if that's something you like, I mean, shoot. And then to get on the internet and I mean, I don't know if she was saying it to spread awareness. Once again, she had to have been ashamed because she had on a mask. But a lot of these females brag about it. They brag about going over to Dubai. Everybody knows what they do. But also Sydney and Sabrina are objectifying themselves. And I think the issue is they are saying the quiet part out loud. They are supposedly supposed to silently prostitute and objectify themselves. Well, I'm just confused. Are we objectifying ourselves or are we not? Because in one instance, I'm hearing, well, it's my body, my choice. I can dress how I want to, even if I do dress provocatively. Um, you shouldn't be able to judge me. It shouldn't tell you anything about my character. And but at the same, but on the other instance, they're saying don't objectify us. So which one is it? And then I heard women saying, "Oh well, they'll blame it all on the men." And I'm like, well, if you weren't prostituting yourself, then they wouldn't have anything to buy, right? Like in order for them to be able to buy a prostitute, there has to be a prostitute. So if you stop, then they must stop because they would have no choice. But I mean, that's just me. Maybe that's just how I think. I know it's just disgusting. Dubai's obsession with having pretty women do disgusting things is literally the rich men trying to find new ways to get turned on because regular lust ain't satisfying them enough. And and is it because I mean, there's so many questions. Is it because you've seen and done so much? So now you got to keep upping the ante and upping the ante and upping the ante. I just, yeah, it's crazy. They're Muslim. It's a degrading fetish to shat. Why are y'all like this? To shat on a whore. Where does it come from? Because most of these practices you can trace back to some type of an idol. Like even whoredom and prostitution is all traced back to an idol. But what is this idol about? And who is it? How did you hear about him? I've been having so many questions. I wish I could sit down with one of these people and start asking some questions because I don't know. I just can't wrap my mind around it. Is doublespeak. I honestly think that overall mindset is I want to objectify myself, but I don't want you to objectify me. I want the rewards from it, but I don't want the repercussions. Illogic. I mean, yeah, it makes sense how you put it. Um, yeah, it makes sense how you put it. And it just all comes back around to this liberation movement. But again, it has to be that way. It's written. Same thing they were doing in Latin Noah's days, the same thing they're gonna be doing now. So we're just seeing what happened back then. We're looking at it. We're able to see exactly what was causing the fall of men. But and that's just crazy because they have rules that are so modest to where they have to cover themselves all the way up and only the eyes can show, but then you're out doing some nasty mess like that. That doesn't even make sense. Not even. Patrice O'Neill said, if you want women to do dirty, nasty things, the trick was to make it sound like your idea. She wants to do it, but she doesn't want to be seen as a slut. Makes sense. So it has to sound like the women's idea. And, that makes perfect sense. Um, just based on what I've heard women say about this situation. Yeah, what else can you say about that? I mean, Patrice was a real one. I'll say that. One of my favorite comedians. But I think that Corey Holcomb is holding it down for him in his absence. I'll say that. Then they can always have the out and go back to blaming men. Yeah. But it's kind of like that, have your cake and eat it too syndrome, because I'm seeing a lot of it. And one podcast that really, really has this heavy is the Whatever podcast. And they always bring these 304s on there. They're OF models, they're prostitutes, they're all these stuff. And they're always advocating, pretty much I can do what I want. I'm independent woman. I'm this type of woman, but they still want a traditional man. And the guys are telling them, no, you cannot get a traditional man because you're not a traditional woman. But man, I really wish I could have got that video out before this live because it would have all made sense. But I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna finish it when we get through here, and I'm gonna drop it because it all comes full circle. Corey Holcomb is definitely holding it down. He really is. He speaks some real stuff. Receipts and everything. I'm like, yeah, definitely needed in this time. But I think that people are getting stronger as far as speaking up. Like I was saying earlier, there are people that are the loudest and they seem to be drowning out goodness, but there's a lot of people that are getting fed up with what they're seeing and what they're hearing and experiencing that they're ready to start talking. Again, like we said earlier, I'm kind of waiting for Chaka to really, really, really come out and say something, if she's ever going to, but I think a lot of these people are itching to just let it all out. I'd pay to have a whole show with Kevin Samuels, who I don't really care for, and Corey Holcomb. That show would bring millions of money. Yeah. Yeah, it would. And he's actually doing a good job. Now, I actually enjoy Kevin Samuels. But Corey is actually doing a good job of getting a lot of content creators to come on his show. I don't know if you guys have seen that. A lot of women that I watch, like Riva TV or Dee, he's had them on his show and allowed them to really shed some light from their perspective. So like I said, I think people are really coming around and just really observing what's going on and starting to wake up. Definitely. Which is why we're also seeing the rise of evil as fast as we are. Corey exposed Cheyenne Bryant, and she's been avoid that smoke for real, for real. Yeah. And I thought she was at first, like when I first heard her, and it was her sit down with Cam Newton, and she was kind of talking to him about all these babies that he was having all over the place. And I agreed with her there. But then, yeah, after that, she just started getting ate up. And then, yeah, he really did. I mean, but she's one of these undercover, I would call her like an undercover feminist who deep down she's leading to the detriment of women and keeping women single. But we have to see the rise. We have to see the rise of the woman goddess. I think that's what we're seeing right now is that spirit rising. She gives reformed lesbian. I thought that's what they were saying that she was. And I thought she did as well. But now I know in this last interview that I saw, she was talking about how she's pretty much been a jump off the last few years. And claiming that he's not worthy to be with. It's so crazy because she says that he wants a relationship with her, but she feels he's not ready. It's stupid. I ain't even gonna get into that. It's stupid. But there's been a movement since the late 1800s, and this is not woman bashing. It's not woman bashing. It's just acknowledging the fact that for whatever reason, women have a love for Satan. It was Eve who desired to be as a god and caused the fall of man. And I think we have to see that play out. I think that's going to be one of the end time things. But Antichrist is not going to have a desire for women. So really what's happening is he's using them, not all the women, but the ones that are pushing these agendas. He's using them and then he's just going to discard them at the end. You said, I have an answer for that man. It sounds brutal. But man, it sounds brutal. You have to, well, say it. Just go ahead and say it. um I saw a thing. I don't know if you're give you a chance to write that out. I saw a thing. I don't know if I don't want to get off the screen because if I do, I feel like it'll try to log me out. Hold on. Let me see if I can. If not, I'll come right back. So pretty much, have y'all seen the testimony that Ghislaine Maxwell is giving? This is totally off topic. I'm kind of moving around. Yeah, she's actually dropping some information about them cloning people on Epstein Island, saying that it was pretty much the island was a low grade military lab, bio. They also go on to say that a lot of those clones are in Hollywood. Said I didn't know her testimony was available. Yeah, they're kind of dropping little things here and there about what she's been saying, about what she's been coming out with. I want to say I heard that they said that she released names, but of course they're not releasing it to us. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff. It had like something about Hillary in there as well. I don't know if it's the same thing. That might be something different. I think that's something I wanted to expound on tomorrow on a morning dive. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, so it says that each child was manufactured using DNA samples harvested from kidnapped children in the US, Eastern Europe, and South America. Many of the children were never reported missing as their families were silenced immediately entirely. Clones were created in batches of 50 to 100 at the time, incubated in high pressure biochambers buried beneath the temple structure. These children were raised, I guess, by mothers, but AI controlled, and their minds were wiped blank. And yeah, yeah, pretty much. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. No one ever speaks about Epstein fled to Israel or is confirmed Israeli intelligence. Yeah, I've only seen a few people talk. Yeah, only a few people. Did you guys know that Epstein gave Harvard a total of 9.1 million and he has his own keys? Whoa. And could come and go as he pleased even after his first arrest? Really? No. And what's weird, didn't they come out with a report saying that they were selling body parts out of Harvard? I think they have some kind of I don't know if they have some type of, I don't know why they have dead bodies at Harvard, matter of fact, but they came out and said that They were selling body parts from there. So what was he? You know what? I have a lot of questions. Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Because why would he be able to go in and out from there? For what reason? Did he go to Harvard? I mean, even if he did go to Harvard, what would be his reason for even being there? And they can snatch kids up, take them, take them to the university, do their little rituals there. When they're done with them, obviously, they like to cut them up. Some parts they eat, some parts they don't. They probably just sell those parts. You know what? I have questions. I am. I also heard Obama started smoking crack at Harvard. Um, was that from Larry Sinclair? I think that was his name. Because he was talking about how he was smoking crack with Obama. And I thought it was over there at Harvard, but that's crazy. Yeah, he on that mess. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so if y'all couldn't hear what I was saying about that, again, I'm gonna do the deep dive and I'll put it out because I didn't. If I put it on the screen now, I won't be able to read it. They were selling organs. Yeah. I just don't. Yeah. Why would he be even Epstein funded a whole department doing what? I'm all asking you, like, what? I don't know if you know, but what? And most universities are compromised. Yes, they are. There was a girl. I didn't get a chance to look at the video. I just remember I screenshotted it, excuse me, so I can go back and look at it or find it. But she was talking about how she took an oath with the people that are behind Spelman University on some weird stuff. I'm like, what kind of oath did you take with them and for what? And if I'm not mistaken, it was either Spelman or Morehouse. And you know that they're like brother and sister universities. The Morehouse is the all male version, and then Spelman is the all female version of the college. But either one of the two of them were the first to admit transgenders in their university and allow them to mingle with the opposite sex in their dorms and stuff. But yeah, I got to go back and see what the heck she was talking about. But yeah, I agree. Most universities are compromised. Um, and that's why a lot of these kids are going to these colleges and they come out indoctrinated. They don't even know what, male, female is and reproduction and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. I think so. That guy who smoked crack and sucked, yeah, his name was Larry Sinclair. Yep. That video of the old white guy saying he sucked Obama off in a limo while he smoked crack resurfaced like a year ago, then disappeared again. The internet is forever. I know. I think if I'm not mistaken, I put it in a video. I don't remember what video, but the footage is there somewhere. The footage is there. If they didn't snatch it from me, because you know what they did snatch. Speaking of Bill Gates, is the clip where he was talking about how vaccines were going to help with depopulation. They snatched that right off my Instagram. I didn't even know until I tried to go back one day to get it, and it's no longer there. Epstein established the program of evolutionary dynamics. I don't know what that is. Evolutionary. Hold on. Dynamics is the study of the mathematical principles according to which biological organisms as well as cultural ideas evolve and evolved. This is mostly achieved through the mathematical discipline of population genetics, along with the evolutionary game theory. Most population genetics consider changes in the frequencies of alleles at the small number of gene loci. Okay. Hmm. A conventional view of evolutionary dynamics is based on three essential elements. One, organism reproduction with imperfect heredity. Two, variations, including mutations, which are typically introduced by the reproduction process. And three, selection, which acts within a population and allows some variant. Hold on, I gotta open this up. Some variant. Species to survive and reproduce while eliminating others. When considering variations, a sizable fraction of evolutionary biology is focused on genetic and epigenetic variations. Okay. That sounds loaded. Two instances or interactions between organisms. That sounds loaded because I have a lot to say about that. Because it's, you know what? I ain't gonna go there tonight. I'm not gonna go there tonight. That's a lot. You guys know Biden has an island next to Epstein's. I think a lot of them do. I think a lot of them do. They all and they take submarines to each other's house, like type stuff. And a lot of the and I'm gonna say they all have islands, but they all have islands. And I showed y'all what they do on those islands. I knew Barry was a party boy. Yeah. He is down with the get down. They call him Bathhouse Barry. They said he was in the bathhouse with the white man. When I say Bill Gates, when I was a teen and heard that I was an old, excuse the hell out of me. What he just say? Yeah. He always talking that mess. Always, always, always. Like he is one evil guy. Have you seen the videos of the mosquitoes Bill Gates funded to be disease carriers and they released the bugs by helicopter at music events? There was hella videos online of it. I can't find it, but a few now. Yeah. Yep. And they'll do it with all kinds of diseases. They'll do it with malaria. They'll do it with COVID. They'll do it with all kinds of diseases. He will stop at nothing until he depopulates the world. Like, he is on a mission. And I heard that the potatoes that McDonald's has, the ones that are so toxic that they can't even touch them for 2 weeks, are his. Those are his potato fields. But that's crazy. I saw another video and something was being released on the crowd. It was the weirdest thing. It was just being sprayed over them, and they weren't doing anything about it. Mm. Trump's compromising those records. That's why they recently said there's no client list. Pics of him and young girls and Jeffrey Boy keep surfacing. Yeah. I'm hearing that too. I'm hearing just so many mixed things, but yeah, I'm definitely hearing that too. I haven't seen the pictures of him in compromising positions like I've seen with other people. Like, unfortunately, I've even seen a picture of dang, I cannot think of that. He's a movie producer. What is his name? But anyway, I seen him kissing a little black girl on an island. Didn't want to see it, but a lady that I was following, she had all the receipts. It wasn't Spielberg. It was dang, what is that man's name? Hold on. I bet you I can find it. She had to be probably like 7 or 8 years old. I wonder if I'll probably have to search for it, but you know what? I last saw it on Twitter. I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to post it, but I will tell you the name when I find it because it's disgusting. I can't think of that man's name. Not Tarantino. Um, right now, I want to say Joel Schumer, but I don't. But I don't know if that's him. I don't want to put that on that man, and it wasn't him. I don't know why that name is popping in my head right now. No, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. I'll find it. I'll find it, and I will let y'all know. You said, "Now go there if you bad." Mm-mm. Not Scorsese. What's his Scorsese? Let me look. I gotta bring up his picture. I don't know why that man's name is not coming to me right now. I do not know why. Okay, I'll find it. Private citizens bought the cell phone data from Jeffrey Epstein Island. They won't release the names because they aren't sure who's a victim and who was there for a party, but you can see the data. I think they're going to use that as an excuse to, yeah, they're just going to keep on using that as an excuse. And I get it, right? Because the victims are already hurt enough, but you can release the perpetrators' names even if you don't release the victims' names. Like, come on. Transformer dude, Shia LaBeouf. No, if that's who you're talking about, no, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. I haven't eaten any fast food, but especially McDonald's in over a decade. In my nutrition class, they had a Happy Meal and McDouble that was over 10 years old and it never molded. And that's not real food. Yeah, no. Yeah, the last time I tried to like a Big Mac, it came up like a couple minutes later. I was like, nope. I think my body says I'm good on this. It's all right. Michael Bay, no, not Michael Bay. Even though he's disgusting, disgusting in himself. It wasn't him though. In this country, being in the government or an elite means you have a past to commit the worst crimes, leave massive trails of evidence, and never be persecuted for it. Yep. 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 That's exactly what it means. And speaking of, just because I am keeping up with this story, um, the last I told you guys, and the last I had heard when I told you guys, was that Jay-Z's supposed son was dropping the charges. Oh, well, dropping the lawsuit. Well, he did, but apparently it was a skill move because they were being blocked in all these different jurisdictions, and so he ended up finding a jurisdiction that was actually going to listen to him. And I'm hearing that the case is going forward. Excuse me. Excuse me. Dang, I was about to say both of those. You're still my guess exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna find it. But if I don't want to wear my seatbelt, some police officer is looking for a reason to take me to jail, but not people who do stuff to children. The world is truly sick. Yeah, yeah. Never understood that. I mean, I get it. I mean, I hear it's because it costs so much money to. I hate to say it this way, but scrape bodies off of the roadway when they crash through the windshield. But two things can be true. You can have people wear their seatbelts so that you don't have to pick up the pieces, and you can also punish these criminals. You said I was thinking, what dudes could I see doing that? You know what? It might even surprise you. You know what? Um, you know what? Hold on. I think did I remember his name? Okay, this is the guy I know he's down with the get down. I just don't know if this was the guy that I saw. Hold on. The guy he was in he did one of the character voices for Ratatouille. And I hate that he did because Ratatouille is one of my favorite movies. Here's my last guess, Kubrick. No, not Kubrick. Not Kubrick. I don't even know if he was down with them like that. He was always speaking out about them. I don't even know if he was one of them. I don't think it was. Okay, I'm trying to remember this name, y'all. I'm looking and talking to you at the same time. When the Epstein stuff was in the news, I said off rip, nothing would ever happen to those people. I laughed when people in the government beat on the desk, said justice for the victim is coming. That never happened. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely 50-50 on that. I, I, I guess we were wrong for having hope, right? Just unfortunately, we are dealing with evil in high places. Whoa, I do not want to. Ooh, that is not a thumbnail I want to see. Oh my goodness, let me get off of here. Um, you'd be surprised how many people in power are kid lovers. Yeah, and even with the rings and stuff of it. Remember that politician Sheila Jackson Lee? She just passed several months ago, maybe last year, maybe a year or two ago. But she was one of the ones that I saw on that list, on the original list that came out. And then next thing you know, they were showing that she had one of those boy lover or whatever rings on with the symbol. I was like, oh my goodness. Yep. Yep, yep. I was hit by a drunk driver last year and haven't driven since. Really? I'm so sorry to hear that. I mean, glad that you're here. I know people don't make it. Um, yeah, that's sad. There used to be a website called Predators in Power. It was on the sketchy web, but they posted high-ranking official names. Whoa, information and receipts of doing things with kids. It was taken down in 2012. Whoa, never heard about that. That's crazy. And if you really cared, why would you take it down? Yeah, I agree. No, now have you not driven because of like ailment or you like I don't want to say like trauma, but yeah, you just don't care to drive. Because I can see that. My grandma got into a real bad accident a few years back. She hasn't driven since. She broke ribs, she broke her wrist, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, she hasn't driven since. Anytime there's an intelligence agency involved, you won't ever see a day of court proceedings. No, nope. They're definitely there just for that. I never understood why people aren't up in arms and demanding accountability on things like that. Like people don't even care. You know, I hate to say it, but a lot of people do not care. There's a lot of people that are more than happy to turn a blind eye to what is going on. They say, well, that's not my child. And, let that person do with those children what they will if you're not the parent. They'll say things like that. Some people don't believe that it's going on. I mean, I'll be honest, I've researched a lot of this stuff and even I can't believe that it's going on. Um, the things that I've seen that they've written in these emails, once again, the pictures, even, excuse me, even the pictures that these people have hanging up in their houses. Even based on that, and I know it's not a crime, but even for the pictures that these people have hanging up in their houses, they should be locked up. But um yeah, and then also a lot of people believe in relative morals. So you can't judge other people. You can't tell them what to do. Everybody believes something different. Everybody doesn't believe in God. So therefore, you cannot say what is right and what is wrong. And that's how they live. Even though I ain't gonna say that's how they live. That's what they say out of their mouths. I don't think that most of these people can live through what they say that they believe in. Oh, people should be able to do what they want to. Okay, so if a serial killer wants to kill you, I'm supposed to just let them do it. I shouldn't care, right? Because I shouldn't judge what that person has to do. I shouldn't be able to tell him or her what they can do with their own autonomy. Is that what you're telling me? I don't think so. You're not living that out. Even in crazy because I've already brought up Ravi Zacharias once today, but one guy stood up at a conference and asked him why he was so afraid of relative morality and pretty much that we didn't need a book to tell us right from wrong and this and that. And Robbie just asked him one question: do you lock your doors at night? And the guy just started busting out laughing like, heck yeah, I lock my doors. Yeah. You know why you lock your doors? Because you know that everybody doesn't think like you do. You know that everybody doesn't believe that you shouldn't covet or you shouldn't steal or kill or any of that. So you lock your doors in order to protect yourself from that. You don't think about not judging when you do that. You're definitely judging. So they can't live it out. We need to bring back shows. We need to bring back websites like that. That's the problem. Yeah. And then I think even somebody asked what happened to Chris Hansen. You know, he was busting people left and right. They would post videos, pictures, and the home addresses of predators. A bunch of congressmen, sorry, I can't talk. Congressmen made the list. Oh, wow. No, I hadn't heard anything about that. Said I got hit before and I had bad trauma for 1 month. I was unscathed, but the wreckage looked like someone died. Wow. So I was fine, thank God, just traumatic. The guy was racist, whoa, and was about to put his hands on me. I thought it was my fault at first. What? Nope, says I was unconscious for the first hit for a couple minutes, then was woken back up by the second part of the crash. Dang. Yeah, we gotta be careful out there on those streets. I know out here, these people cannot drive. They get into accidents every day. I've even seen, I don't even know how they got turned upside down because the speed limit on the road was 40 miles per hour. Why are you turned upside down? Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm glad both of y'all are okay. That's crazy. Have you ever seen those claims that Child Protective Services has abducted over 80,000 kids since 2005? Yep. Matter of fact, that's coming up. I got a video coming up about that soon as well. And the people that were speaking out about it, how they killed them off. Absolutely. Absolutely. They do all kinds of things to those kids. I told y'all, I had a pen pal. Um, I was in a pen pal program at this company that I was working for. And the girl who was my pen pal, she was 10 years old. She had a family of 10. She had like 9 other siblings. And she told me that the CPS guy raped her sister. I was like, my goodness. So, yeah, they're in on it too. That's all I'm going to say. They're in on it too. And they have been given legal right to come up in your home and take your kids. And they can put them with anybody that they want to put them with. And if you've noticed that most of the time, I'm not gonna say most of the time, but a lot of times they will take your child and put them with the homosexual couple or another deviant and have no qualms about it. And I don't know if y'all heard about that, this latest couple that they're talking about, these 2 men. I don't know how they acquired this baby. I don't know how they got this baby. But one of them is a registered sex offender, convicted registered sex offender. And they put this child with them, a boy at that. You like men, and yet they're given a man child so that, you know, you know. Their relative morals always get less relative when they become the victim of said morality. Exactly. Exactly. And again, people are up in arms about this whole 10 Commandments thing in the classrooms, and I get it, right? I get it. Everybody is not a believer. But are you trying to tell me that are you really trying to tell me that you have a problem with thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet, and all that kind of stuff? And I've already asked, you know, you want the commandments taken down, you don't want people praying and stuff in school like that. So what do you do when the gunman runs up in the classroom and kills everybody. Like you should not have anything to say about it. You should have absolutely no problems about that happening because you don't believe in the tenets, thou shalt not kill. It makes no sense. I heard a quote like you don't lock your doors to keep bad people out. You lock them to keep good people innocent, something like that. Oh, I don't even know what that would mean then. To keep good people innocent? What would that I don't even know what that means. I saw an interview where Hanson like a month ago. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know if he was still, out and about. It was a good website. I think it got taken down because the truth they were spreading, they didn't make the claims. They posted raw footage and audio, and then the person's information, it couldn't be denied. I mean, I, I can see how it can cause a big problem with retaliation, but I can't say that that's a bad thing. You probably just don't want a whole bunch of vigilantes, you know. But I don't know. I just don't see how that's a bad thing. But no, but okay, wait a minute. Let me not say that. Because if you're posting raw footage of like some, pedo stuff, I can see why they wouldn't want that getting out because nobody wants to see that. We ain't trying to see that. I saw a video of a Green Beret saying he was a part of a mission that saved 10,000 kids from Homeland Security being trafficked. Not from Homeland Security. I mean, but see, here's the thing. Nobody thought it was suspicious when they had all them children in them crates, in them cages. And then nobody batted an eye when most of those kids, if not all, went missing. And they're like, what happened to the kid in the cages? What happened to him? But that's crazy. Homeland Security. See, that's the thing. And like we've talked about this before, these people get into key places where you think that they're big advocates for the movement or whatever, but no, they're really just there to keep an eye on things, to see what is being said, what's known, so that, if need be, they can change plans, they can change locations, it's crazy. Just like Ashton Kutcher. God have mercy. I know, right? My mom worked for CPS. She said the stuff she saw was so bad she went into another field. I couldn't imagine. I mean, because even, I just couldn't imagine. Because I was even told family law. They were like, do not go into family law unless, no, they didn't even say unless. They do not go into family law. It's not something that you want to see. Most people are not going to be able to handle people's families breaking up like that, and just the fights between and using the kids as the party. They said it's not something that you would want to do. It's very stressful. Mm. An atheist told me he'd rather live in a Christian society because he recognizes it would be a better society and safer to the morality, but yet won't be saved. But no, I mean, hopefully that's a step in the right direction for you to acknowledge that. I think it's not to cause temptation. Oh, okay. Okay. That reminds me of the T app that got hacked and doxed multiple women and their locations. Yeah. That's crazy. And see, people are going to get enough. Like, I get it, right? You're upset, but even back in the day, revenge porn and all that kind of stuff is illegal. So you think that putting people's it's just not good. I heard they were putting faces and video. They were doing them guys dirty. And here's the thing, I wonder what's gonna happen to a lot of those women. Because some people don't play like that, you know? They don't play with getting outed and all that stuff. They'll take you up out of here. I think a lot of people are doing things to end up on the first 48, and they think it's funny. Um, mm. Hansen caught a he caught a charge like a year or two ago. I think it was for fraud or something about taxes. The interview, I saw him the first time I saw him in years. Oh, mm. And see, and that's funny business sometimes because sometimes they aren't paying their taxes, and then sometimes they're oh, why can't I say that? Retaliating against these people to shut them up. I mean, but they let him go on for years, so I don't know. Maybe he got too close to somebody we shouldn't know about. Maybe he has footage. I don't know. Didn't the government admit to losing nearly 100,000 immigrant kids recently? I think so. I feel like I vaguely did hear about that, but it happens all the time. There's so many people that go missing in the United States, let alone globally every year. And nobody says anything. Ashton Kutcher, yeah. Remember I showed what video was that in? Dang, what video was that? I don't remember what video it's in, but he is a part of the Clinton Foundation where he is in a key place to stop child trafficking. But yet on the other hand, they said that he is a child trafficker. And we know doggone well, Killer and her husband, how they get down. So I think he's one of those people that are in key positions so that he can keep a lookout. I think atheists only reject God to live a life of self. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what the Bible says. They like their darkness rather more than they like the light. They like their sins. No, I got you. I mean, it's viral, so everybody kind of knows about it, but um it's crazy. I thought revenge porn was sending a heterosexual, homosexual porn. No. I mean, I can see how that happens, but no. Like when your ex sends you nudes and then they make you mad and then you drop the nudes. Yeah. Revenge porn. I feel like everyone knows my ex was trouble. No app needed. Yeah. Again, a lot of these people didn't need the app either. They knew that who they were dealing with was no good. They saw the signs. But like they say, ladies like projects. I don't know if that's true, but they say that we like to try to fix up men. Now, I don't know if that's true anymore because I hear so many people say that they're not willing to work. You got to come, already made, but I don't know. They didn't need that app. I'm sorry, that's a hilarious quote. I think a lot of people are doing things that'll end up on the first 48. No, for real. I think about that all the time. Like, that's what they're doing. How do you even lose 10 kids? Again, yeah, I just don't think they're losing them. I think they're doing something with them. Mm-mm. I don't know. I don't know how there's even a first 48 show when police only solve 2% of the violent crimes. At that rate, it takes 10 years to get 2 episodes in. Yep. But anything to make money. What's up? What's up? Good evening. I hope all is well. Your titles are always hilarious. Your handles are always hilarious. I'll never forget the white girl who sent nudes to one guy in high school and then he sent them to everyone. Her shame is something I still laugh about today. Yeah, that's sad. Um, I mean, that's sad. I hate the ones that have like taken themselves out, when that's happened. Like, okay, yeah, you were showing a little penis. Okay. You don't have to. And I just don't know if I don't know how they feel, but dang, enough to take yourself out is a lot. Not me. I just wasn't too bright back then. I mean, that's understandable. People can play tricks on you. My ex misses me. That says enough. That's what I'm saying. Congress had a meeting saying they need to figure out how they lost them. I'm like, not they need to have a meeting. Who was in charge? Who was over it? That's who we need to sit down with. And I know they have cameras. They can see our license plate. They can see what we're thinking as we're walking down the road. You mean to tell me that you don't know where these kids went? I don't think so. You guys hear about the Asian couple that had 21 kids under what? 3? They were from surrogacy? Why? Wait, okay. So, I mean, again, I don't know where this was at, which Asian country, but so you mean to tell me that they're only allowed to birth 1 or 2 children? I don't know if I think they up to 2, but and there's a limit on that, but they're allowed to have surrogate children, more than 2? And what would be the reason to have all them doggone kids by surrogacy? I don't know. One of my high school friends hung himself over a breakup with a girl. I was like, man, how dumb you gotta be to off yourself over a high school relationship. Yeah. Yeah, that's sad. I mean, that's sad. And I'm not gonna downplay high school relationships, right? Because I did marry my high school sweetheart, but so I know that there are some serious relationships that you can have. But yeah, like you're saying, that's for most people, that's something that comes and goes. That's sad though. They say Border Patrol lost all those kids. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. They lost all those. Oh my goodness. They lost all those kids. They have no idea where they went. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because what the heck? Man, lock these people up till they find these kids. I bet they'll find them then, or let us know what happened to them. Again, no one's. I can't believe that. I can't believe that's true. Again, no one's ever up in arms demanding accountability. Yeah. Oh my goodness. They were in cages for crying out loud. Where did where could they have gone without your permission? They think we're stupid. They said the surrogates thought the kids were going to good homes, but the couple kept them. Oh, it was in California, I think. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, so wait. They thought that they were having they thought they were having surrogate children for other people and not the actual couple. I don't know. That's weird. That's really weird. But somebody made a good point about surrogacy, about it kind of being an inhumane practice because the child has bonded with the mother, and well, I know it's not supposed to be her egg, but man, it's still being housed in her womb. They are creating a bond. You're giving that child nutrients. And then when you birth that child, they're just ripped from that person and then given over to somebody that they have no idea who it is. And it reminded me of um what's the Free Willy? What's that kind of whale? Sorry, y'all. You know it's getting late for me and I start blanking out. But they had a whole Blackfish, pretty much. They had the documentary on that where the great whale, what are they called? My goodness, y'all. Anyway, they started killing the trainers because they were traumatized. Because every time that these whales would birth the children, they would separate them, put them in different tanks, and then, use them for entertainment for people that came to SeaWorld and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's the same exact thing that they're doing with these babies. Yeah, killer whale. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. But yeah, it's kind of like the same thing. I can understand. Yeah, it's just I don't know. Hmm. Before the T9 calculator, we had an Asian in every classroom to do the math back in my day. Oh my goodness. That T9 calculator was something else though. Selling kids, pimping kids. Yep. Selling them, pimping them, sacrificing them, eating them, sexing them. They doing all kinds of stuff to these babies. Oh my goodness. You said, what are your thoughts on Dr. Umar Johnson and his bank accounts being frozen? In my honest opinion, he's the prince of panhandling. I'll be honest, I did not look into his story. I did see that people were saying that he was broke and stuff like that, but I didn't get a chance to look into it to see what was going on. Oh gosh. I guess I want to know why they were frozen. Can you let me know why they were frozen? And then maybe I can give a little insight. Here's the thing with Dr. Umar. I do agree with something, not everything by far, but I do agree with a lot of with some things that he says. I won't say a lot. Some things that he says. Um, you can tell he's very intelligent. Um, maybe he meant well with the school that never came to fruition. I just don't know if he's a bad guy. Uh, yeah, I need to. I want to know why he. Why is he? Why is his accounts frozen? His mom came home to him hanging on the basketball goal. I always thought it was selfish to do that and cause others to bring others the pain it brings. I'll be honest, I agree. I agree. I hate to say this, but I don't have sympathy for people who do that. I have more sympathy for the people who are left behind wondering why you did it and if they could have done anything to help. Maybe if it was one more thing, they could have said, or maybe one more hug or, something. I always think about those people. Um, because everybody goes through stuff. And yes, some people do have it harder than others. I'm not going to downplay that at all because I like some of these stuff that people have gone through. I could not even imagine. Um, but once again, the people that are still here are left wondering, and I don't know if they ever recover from that. So I agree with you. I told her he must have did the alley oop because he never made a shot from the free throw. He's always throwing air balls. Mm-mm. I don't know. Sarge, I misplaced all the kids. I know that's weird. That's really weird. Yeah, some of the surrogates are trying to get the kids back. I can imagine. I'm not saying that it's right, but I can imagine because again, you've also created the bond with the child. Um, I don't know. It's weird. I've actually met a surrogate couple. I sold them when I was door to door. I sold them one of the item that I was selling, but she was a surrogate. She saw the price tag that they were paying these mothers, and I think her husband even was the one that said, "Hey, maybe you should be a surrogate." And she was like, "Okay." And they had kids. They had like 2 kids. Um, but yeah, I just thought that's crazy. Humans do so many unnatural things and we don't question it at all. Shoot, yeah, I know it. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. I was living near the SeaWorld where that lady got dragged by her hair. Whoa, by Shamu. It was all over the news. Yeah, he got her good. But listen, these animals don't forget your face. I was just telling the little girl on Saturday. A wasp came near her. She was trying to swat at. Don't you swat that wasp. I said they remember your face. And they are not like bees. They don't just die after they sting you. They can sting you multiple times. I've seen people get attacked, seriously attacked, by a wasp while I looked in horror. But yeah, but I don't know. But ain't Dr. Umar. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. All the people that start schools are questionable. Well, I mean, I don't really know too many. Yeah, besides the people that you're naming, yeah, I don't know. Did Jay-Z start a school? I didn't know Kanye did. I know Oprah did. Matter of fact, Oprah's spiritual advisor just got 99 years for dun, 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 sex trafficking children. So I'm not surprised. LeBron, I didn't know did I know he had a school? Is his I don't remember. I remember there was a basketball game. I guess they were playing basketball outside and this white boy got killed. I I don't remember if that was at LeBron's supposed school. Yeah. See, here's the thing. Like Dr. Umar, he might be a scammer in the sense of pandering. I don't think he's down with. I don't think he's one of these funny guys, though. I don't think he's down with the funny business like LeBron and Oprah and Jay-Z. So I wouldn't put that on him. I'm not saying that y'all are, but something wrong with him, but it ain't that. Dr. Umar bank accounts are frozen because he was with Shannon Sharp spending money on OnlyFans models. Seriously? Listen, again, it's not wholesome, but if these are consenting adults, I mean, I don't understand why his accounts have to be frozen. That's just crazy. Yeah, that's just crazy. I'm the same way. I've got a lot of lip about it, but I don't think things are ever so bad that they get better. Sorry, they can't get better quitting. Seems like the pansy thing to do. It hurts, especially the family. Yeah. Um, yeah. Cam, that was ruthless but funny. Yeah. I think it's spiritual. It's important to know God. We know which thoughts are actually ours or for us. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to. Um, that's really what it comes down to. IVF is very suspect. Uh-oh. Sus surrogates are too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, my old distributor, I remember she paid 30,000 to get her daughter. Yep, 30,000 to for IVF treatments. And I mean, she got at least one. I think the following one she tried to do it again and it failed, but uh yeah. They said the whale grabbed her so hard by the hair it scalped her. Oh my gosh, deceased body and drowned her and wouldn't give up the body. It was playing. Oh my goodness, it was playing with her. I know they regret playing catch with it now. Oh my goodness, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Mm. Oprah is Lucifer incarnate. She's definitely down with the get down. And it's crazy. She's just one of those people that I never ever liked her. I never liked Oprah. Even when she was on her show, she was giving out all that stuff and I just never cared for her. And then over the years I started finding out, oh, she's like this and that. And I was like, oh goodness. But sometimes you just know. I think Dr. Umar is a scam. Once I saw he had two baby mamas. Oh, I know. He was talking all that mess. Yep, and had two baby mamas. Mm-mm. Pandering just means free money. I'm down. Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was gonna do something with it. And maybe he tried. I don't know. I don't know what the story behind that is. If the school account was used, that's a bad look. Oh yeah, true. Wait, is that what is that what they're saying that he did? Yeah, he's crazy for that if that's what happened. Sometimes the pain is simply living with yourself. Yeah. And that, I hate to say it, even though they try to blame um, their suicides on people not accepting them, but I think that's the transgender issue because you're having this disconnect between who you think you are and what you are. And so it just every day, all day, it's a constant thing. It's a constant struggle. And then on top of people being like, no, I'm good. Nah. And then you just take yourself out. The only thing I'd pay an OnlyFans girl for is the Dubai duo. Me telling her mother she let me chunk a deuce on her seems like it would be a family conversation on shame on the holidays. These girls do not be shamed, though. That's the crazy thing. And then they brag about how their family is all supporting them and stuff. It's just nasty. But, like people are acknowledging, back in the day, there were just certain things that you did not want people to know about you. You didn't want to be portrayed as. And nowadays, those same things are being embraced. Like if you were a whore back then, you were looked down upon. Now, like I said, you getting millions of dollars a month to do it. How do you get a multi-thousand-pound whale to give you a body back? I don't even know why they even tried. I don't even know. There's pics of Oprah that makes her look like Weinstein's Ghislaine. I thought she was. I can't think of one person right now off the top of my head, besides maybe Gayle King and Stedman, that have not had their name brought up in some predatory mess like Weinstein. She hangs around them all. And remember when Obama handed out those medals? He was giving like medals of honor to all these people. Maybe about 9 or 10 recipients got them, and every single last one of them is Epstein style type people. It was like Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, obviously Oprah, and I think Steven Spielberg. It was the whole crew. Most of the people have a grift. Yeah. Omar out here telling the black man to marry black queens. Meanwhile, he dug in his responsibility. Yeah. And then made some sorry excuse about why he didn't marry the mothers of his children. It's like, okay. Once you vote, you cannot complain. I mean, yeah, pretty much. But then they also say the opposite is true, right? If you don't vote, then you also can't complain. So you do if you do, you do if you do, you do if you don't. Or I think it's something different. You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. So dear. I know a mom that let her son become a tranny because he threatened suicide. I told her you should have accepted your new guardian angel instead of affirming him. Yeah. Yep. Because that's what they're using to manipulate people, emotionally manipulate people. Of course, we wouldn't want you to commit suicide, Johnny. So here's this wig. I heard Oprah's so rich she could give everyone on the planet $1 and still be laughing straight to the bank. Yeah, I think so. She's a billionaire. I wouldn't want her little funky dollar though. I just realized it's not weird. No one in Hollywood had a happy ending. No, not unless they stay far, far away. And I think that's why so many of them, how they'll make note of people that disappeared from Hollywood to go live regular lives. Only those people survive. Seems like there's a breed of women that absolutely hate women. Now, do you say that because they give them bad advice that they know would be detrimental to them? Oprah was real cool with Harvey. I saw a video of her asking one of his victims not to pursue legal action. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say. She should be ashamed of herself. Agreed. It's like people nowadays have no shame. Those are signs of a civilization crumbling down. Also, Gil King was old Oprah's boo, and now Avery DeVay is Oprah's new boo. Oh, really? Ugh. That's crazy. Once you vote, you can complain. Okay. No, that's up to themselves. The contract they signed, they agreed to. Anytime you sign a contract, you should make sure you benefit from it, not pay the price later. Yeah. Um, most. Hmm. What do I want to say? Most people don't read contracts. Matter of fact, people contracts are hard. You know, if you don't if you don't know how to read a contract, you can definitely get caught up because it's not just straightforward. As we're having a conversation like we're doing now, legalese is a language all in itself, and you have to study it, and you have to know what the words mean, and you have to know the legal implications of them and the laws that were created around them. It's very not difficult in a sense. It's just a lot to learn, and a lot of people, they just don't read it, and then there's always some fine print. But no, you're right. You're right. Said facts. They did it to themselves. Yeah. It was only last week I realized the American dream's dead. They're not even a dollar menu anymore, right? A small fry is $2.50. When I was a kid, a large was $1.08. Yeah. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, back in the day when I was eating McDonald's, I remember when they came with a dollar tea. I was like, ugh. I love sweet tea, by the way. So yeah, that it was affordable. Meals were definitely affordable. Yeah, and that fry thing is insane because I love fries. Because of women like Oprah and Ghislaine. Yep, yep. Okay, y'all, I got a few more and then I'm gonna let you go for tonight. Plus my phone is about to die, so we will pick up next week. Nope, I've seen some good videos where they speak on their contracts, like Mac Miller's girl, can't remember her name. She spoke about selling her soul and had the contract in the video. Um, I wonder if are you talking about Ariana Grande or another girl? Yeah, because I remember Ariana saying that she went to the happy place um facility or whatever, and they are able to erase her memories. Mm-mm. I know, right? I keep talking to it. It sounds like it's having a genuine conversation. People say they are joking. I don't believe so. Most people don't need the things they agree to when they're there's updates on their phone. I've read through a few and it said by agreeing you accept your data will be sold. I did not allow the update. Yeah. And even when you're going to a lot of these websites, they'll have that cookies enabling thing pop up, and you might be tempted to select, accept all or whatever, but there's usually an option that you can choose so that you can take a lot of that stuff off there. Cause yeah, they are collecting your data. They sell it to different companies. Um, and yeah, a lot of it's, you get caught up in data breaches. I get emails all the time saying that my email has been found on the deep web. I'm like, man, for what? Why are y'all trying to hack me? Cam the King, the food was probably real food back then too. Yeah, I can agree with that. Arizona ain't even $1 anymore. My heart is broken. Yeah, I mean, and even if I go to places like Whataburger, because we have Whataburger out in Texas, even their fries are like $3 and something. It's crazy. I'm in Texas. We got Bush's tea. A gallon used to be $1.50. Now it's $4. What? Let me shut up like I didn't just go buy a $4 gallon of tea before I got on this live. But no, that's just ridiculous. Most definitely everything today is poison. Mhm. I will say Ariana Grande did blow up soon after his passing. Oh yeah, because everybody remembered her being his girl. And although she was on Victoria, I think she was on some kind of Nickelodeon show. Was she on like Victorious or something like that? I didn't watch it, so I don't necessarily remember it, but yeah, she blew up. As a private citizen with a credit card, you can buy anyone's data from data brokers. Wow. Bought and sold. I produce 90% of my own food. The other 10% I buy from local farms and farmers markets. Yeah, I wish we had more out here. And there's a lot of people that are starting to set up a lot more and do their thing. Thankfully, they let people set up on the side of the road and stuff like that. And I don't know if they need a permit for it, but it's definitely good to know. Mario game costs $80 now. I'm not surprised. I heard that even Super Soakers, I don't know if y'all remember playing with those back in the day. They used to be about 20, $30. They're about $80 now as well. Yeah, sun-made tea, or they call it sun tea. My mom used to make sweet tea, and it took over 24 hours sitting out in the sun to be done. Yeah, that's some good tea right there. He said, nope, that's criminal. No, it really is. It really is. I'm gonna respond back again because I don't know. I'm confused. Yeah, in most locations, you generally need permits and licenses to sell food on the side of the road. Um, well, okay, well that's good to know. Because if so, I am gonna look it up because I got some things I want to sell on the side of the road. Oh my gosh. Like, oh my goodness, y'all are funny. Food from the grocery store has so much pesticides. You can wash the food and use the water as pesticide. I've done the experiment. Ugh, that's disgusting. Mm-mm. Yeah, this lady was showing how she was washing off like some fruits and stuff, and she was showing in different cups just how dirty each cup was when she got done. Some was brown, some was just like a cloudy white. Oh, it was just disgusting. Um, but what can we do? Nope. When I was a kid, the brand new systems were always under $100. Just got a game Just a game costs that now. That's wild. Yeah. The PS5 costs like 700 to 800 at first. Yeah, I can't even remember. I can't remember what game systems called. Well, I didn't buy any game systems, so I don't know what they cost, but that's crazy. All right, y'all. Man, oh man. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this beautiful Sunday for another episode. Let's see. Again, I'm going to get back to working on this video as soon as I get off this live with you guys. So either look for that in the wee hours of the morning or in the morning. Just depends on how late I stay up today. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the dive tomorrow for the Patreon on the Project Genesis. We'll find out what that is about. And of course, I've got some more topics coming up. If you have anything that you want me to look into, obviously drop that in the comments and stuff. And I will do my best to get a video out for you on that. And other than that, hold on. Yes. Kids sell lemonade on the side of the street all the time. By they have connection like Greek letter parents and Cub Scouts back then. I mean, I guess me and my brother had a lemonade stand when we were younger, and we were definitely not part of a sorority or fraternity back then. And we weren't Cub Scouts or Girl Scouts. So, and we didn't need a permit, but times may have changed. But anyway, y'all have a good week. I need to make a Discord again to join. Yeah. All right, y'all. I will talk to you soon. Thank you for joining.